What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Josh's Horror Corner, where today we're going to talk about exactly what you saw in the title of this video, The Black Phone. Now, this is a new movie. It actually comes out on June 24th is the official day, but after signing up for some promo stuff, I won, I don't know if won is the best way to put it, but I was given the opportunity to go to an early screening. So that is what I'm doing this evening, is going to see this movie that I have been looking forward to, actually. I'm very excited for this opportunity. I believe I first saw the trailer for this at the beginning of the newest Halloween movie, and as soon as I saw it, I was hooked. I could not wait for more. Not just because of how great the trailer was, but because it was based on a short story that I loved. The short story is of the same title, The Black Phone. It comes from 20th Century Ghosts. It is by Joe Hill, and it is one of Joe Hill's works that is the most, in my opinion, the most reminiscent of Stephen King's. There is already slight differences between the book and the movie, the main being Ethan Hawke. In the movie trailer, you see Ethan Hawke, you see his creepy mask. The mask was actually designed by Coliseum Studios, and that is a previous student of Tom Savini. And I believe Tom Savini actually works with that studio quite a bit these days. But big props to them. The mask and everything I've seen looks absolutely amazing. Tom Savini has some interesting ties to the Stephen King family. He actually appears as a character in Owen King's book Double Feature, so check that out. But when you read the short story, it starts off, the fat man on the other side of the road was about to drop his groceries. It goes on to say he wasn't any kind of fat, but grotesquely fat. So you go from this helpless fat man who's trying to get into his van to Ethan Hawke, more of a charismatic, charming kind of dude. His creepy mask is going to come into play. The boy gets abducted, and then what happens? Well, this video is about to cut, and then it's going to start again, and I'm going to tell you about my experience seeing The Black Phone. And I hope that future me is not disappointed, because I'm really looking forward to this movie. So, thanks for stopping by. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, and you know what? I cannot wait to hear my own. I cannot remember the last time I came home from a movie this excited, this happy with what I just saw, this jazzed. I don't think I have a single complaint. I love what they did with it. It was directed by Scott Derrickson. He did Doctor Strange and he did Sinister. And you can feel the Sinister vibes to it. Like, you can just feel that. Sinister had a really cool, intensity to it. And you can feel that in The Black Phone. I was nervous going into it because you have a 20-page book and then you have this, it was like an hour, 45-minute movie. How are they going to make that work? Like, in the book, you have this overweight dude who's trying to fill groceries into his van and snaps and grabs a kid. In the movie, they switch things around a little bit. Like, you've seen the movie poster. You know that it's Ethan Hawke in a mask. Like, it's not this grotesquely fat, large man that snatches kids. It's something a little bit different. They did a great job with it. I am so excited about how this movie went. It was set in 1978 in northwestern Denver, I believe. So in the 70s, the cinematography kind of reflects that kind of feel with the color schemes they go with and things like that. Some very slight Stephen King connections. Now, Joe Hill, I love his work, but he's never going to get out of the shadow of Stephen King. There's always going to be expectations to tie his work to his dad's work. He is an amazing author, standalone, but unfortunately that's just the way things are going to be. So, one of the awesome little pieces that kind of connects to the Stephen King universe, there's the use of the number 19 in the Stephen King universe. It's used over and over and over, and throughout all of his books you can find little 19 references here and there. There is one hiding in The Black Phone. I will not tell you what it means, just to keep an eye out for it, for that connection. And then there's kind of a bigger piece that they don't say, they don't give it a name, but it's reminiscent of something that you would get from The Shining or Doctor Sleep one of those Stephen King stories. So there is that as well. Now that's really subtly, very subtly touched on in the books, but it plays a bigger part in the movie. Again, they had to take a 20-page book and turn it into an hour and 45-minute movie. They nailed it. They nailed it. I cannot believe how happy about it I was. Um, it takes about 20 minutes for it to really start lining up with the book, but once it lines up with the book, they did a really good job of using some of the conversations that were shown in the book verbatim. They used the lines from the book, and they played it off really well. Um, you have to keep an eye on his mask. That's all I'm going to say about it. Callison Studios, I'm going to put a link for their, whatever I can find, website, something, in the description below. They nailed it. That mask is amazing. And throughout the entire movie, just the way the mask plays into what's going on with the movie, amazing. I love what they did with it. Let's see. I kind of wrote down a few things. There was some really good, really creepy one-liners. Again, most of them lined up with the book, so if you have read the story, you'll have an eye out for those. But I'm gonna have to see it again. I couldn't believe it. And with this special screening, I got there and everyone's getting their tickets scanned. I didn't have a scannable ticket, so I'm like, shit, what's gonna happen? Why don't I have a scannable ticket? And I told them who I was, and I showed them my receipt, and they escorted me to a row of seats that were reserved specifically for the people who followed along with the app. So that was pretty cool. Go check out the Black Phone. Like I said, I couldn't be happier with the way that they did it. Ethan Hawke did a stellar job, and the boy Mason Thames. Mason, I don't know what he's done so far, but that dude has a good future ahead of him. He did an amazing job in this movie, and I cannot wait to see what he does next. I could have swore that I looked earlier and I saw that Rotten Tomatoes had given this movie 100%, which I hear isn't very. I don't follow Rotten Tomatoes, so I don't know. But right now, the tomato meter is 86%. I will give this movie 99%. I don't know how to rate movies. I don't know. But that is my rating. I thought it was a 10 out of 10. I loved it. Let me know what you think. And thanks for stopping by Josh's Horror Corner, where horror is king.